North Coast. Pastor AJ here, and this is your daily word of encouragement. Now, I want to share two things that might sound like they don't have a lot to do with each other, and then I'm going to tell you what they have to do with each other, and that, I hope, will encourage you. It's something that has been encouraging to me as I've thought about it. The first thing is a song. A man named Tim McGraw wrote a song, kind of a tragedy about somebody who got really bad news and ultimately rethought their life. And Tim, in the song, I believe it's fictional. I don't think it's a real story about a person, but he goes to the guy and says, well, what'd you do next when you got this bad news? And the man's answer was, I went, that's right, you said it, skydiving. All right, that's the first thing. The second thing is I want to share a story in the Bible that happened just after Easter, which is appropriate for now. And it's the story that I've heard the most pastors and sermons and Bible school professors say that if they could live through one story in the Bible, they would live through this story. And it's in the Gospel of Luke, and I'm going to read a couple of verses. It's in Luke 24. Some of you know what I'm going to say. It's the road to Emmaus. In 24:13, now that same day, two of them, those are the disciples, were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. And they meet this man, and it's Jesus, and I'll read what Jesus says to them in verse 25. He said to them, how foolish you are, and how slow to believe all that the prophets have spoken. Did not the Messiah have to suffer these things and then enter his glory? And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. And the thing I love about that story, and the thing that motivates me about that story, is that information is still there in the scriptures for us to understand. Not only that, but Paul talks about it, and Peter talks about it, and the rest of the New Testament explains it. And Jesus promised to send us the Holy Spirit to guide us into all truth in his scriptures that reveal who he is. And so if you find yourself rethinking your time here recently, kind of like the man in that song I mentioned, although hopefully not with a terrible illness, you've got extra time, don't go skydiving. I think it's closed down right now anyways. But we can all dig into these scriptures that reveal to us who Christ is. Just like on the road to Emmaus, Jesus revealed who he was to his disciples. And that is your word of encouragement for the day. We're praying for you guys. We love you. Thank you.